Hi everyone, this is Jenny from BFAN, and I have the absolute pleasure of introducing BFAN member Harriet Tinka. Harriet Tinka won the Rotary Integrity Award earlier this year. She's a phenomenal example of how to make a difference in the community, which, as you all know, is very much part of our vision. In this short podcast, Harriet basically gives us three really important life lessons that she shares with us. And believe you me, I think you're going to learn a lot from it. It certainly caused me to really take a moment and step back and reflect. So have a listen.
Hi there, my name is Harriet Tinka, and thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to share with you some information on what really matters. However, before I begin, I will tell you just a bit of context of what Empowered Me is. Empowered Me is a social responsibility organization that I established in 2013, and it's been growing. What the organization does, it does touch a lot of young people to be the best version of themselves. In the program, we talk about self-esteem, communication, time management, goal setting, money sense, because I'm an accountant, I think it's important for them to know about money, overcoming obstacles, and a whole list of things that are not necessarily taught in school, but it complements what they do in or will be doing in the future. Now, before I begin, I am going to ask you this question. What are you most proud of? If somebody asks you that question, do you have an answer, or do you need to go in your own space and somehow think about it? And that's okay. The other question is, if I ask you, are you successful? Would you have an answer for that? I've had people ask me that question, and it always seems to vary, but my answer is, for me, the way I measure my success is, I will answer it saying, if my family enjoys me, that means I'm successful. Because no matter what you're doing, your career, anything, if your family does not enjoy having you around, I don't think you're very successful, because it all begins at home. That's what really, really matters. It's your family. It doesn't escape me that my own joy and happiness has been due to the various things in my own life. I've been blessed to have a lot of happiness and success, and some failures, adversity, all of those things. Now, I would like to be a vessel of knowledge to share with you some of these takeaways that you can also use in your own life and make a difference in your own life. What I've done today, I've only really summarized it in 3 major points. And as you know, there's many more points that we could cover. But today we only have room for only 3. The very first one is self-love. Ask yourself, who and what am I? If you're able to answer that, then you know that you are on your way to being the best version of yourself. Be on your driver's seat of your life and love yourself completely. I like to compare self-love, the way that it should look like. It's like a cup of tea, overflowing. As you put in that tea, it's overflowing. It's dumping on the ground. It's full. That's how I want you to completely love yourself. Have an abundance of self-love that is overflowing, and when somebody comes up to you, they might even say, "Whoa, Jane, you are so full of yourself." And I think it's important to be full of yourself, because it means you love yourself completely to the point that you're going to allow other people to love you. And I think if you love yourself, it's easy to allow other people to love you as well. Number 2 is find a way to give back and be authentic doing it. It doesn't have to be a charitable organization. It can be your own career. Maybe you're very good at doing free tax return for people who cannot go to the bigger companies to get them done. That's giving back. And you don't have to be like a famous superstar to make an impact. The impact can be done just in your neighborhood, in your office, in your home, anywhere. Just have the courage to care. And when you have the courage to care, do it without complaining, because if you do complain, it's not authentic. I personally volunteer my time to over 8 different organizations, and all of them I can truthfully say that every time I go in and volunteer my time, I am wowed by how much I've learned, what a difference it's made in my life, and made me an even better person. Number 3 is always do the right thing, even if no one is looking. It's easy to do things when people are looking, but when people are not looking, that's when it matters. And I know sometimes you say, well, it's not very profitable for me to do the right thing, but what really matters is that you know you did the right thing. Let doing right be your brand name. Brag about how good you are at doing the right thing without anybody looking. And when I say brag about it, I mean in your own mind. You don't want to advertise and say, yes, I'm always doing the right thing. People might challenge you on that. Just say within yourself so you are aware that you're doing the right thing. And in addition to that, when you're doing the right thing, you also build your own reputation. For example, imagine somebody saying, but Jane, she is so selfish. All she does is think about her own self. Versus, Jane, have you ever met her? She is so caring. She's so compassionate. That's because Jane always does the right thing, even when no one is looking. The man in the arena is one of the quotes that Theodore Roosevelt wrote or spoke of that really, to me, is my aha moment. And when I read that, it just validates a lot of the things that go on within myself. And when I read this quote, just think of yourself in the arena and think across from you. You're in the arena and this audience of people sitting around and criticizing you. Now that I've painted that picture, listen to the quote. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement belongs to him. So what this is saying, if you're going to criticize me, if you're going to say something negative about me, you need to have the courage to be in the arena with me. Because if you're criticizing me outside the arena, I don't have time for you, and it doesn't matter what you say. You don't have the courage to come talk to me. And you can use this man in the arena in many instances in your life. People ask me why I do what I do. Often I tell them because I can. My success is measured by how many people I empower. Whatever you choose to do, laugh along the way with the people in your network. Free yourself from hate and worries. I really encourage you to live a simple life. My advice to you would be one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou. Never allow someone who adds nothing in your life to control your life. Always be in tune with your emotional GPS. And I call self-awareness emotional GPS because you need to be aware of where you're going, what you're doing. So that's really your emotional GPS. And don't be afraid to fail, because failure really does determine how successful you are. This weekend, actually, I did a marathon. And as some of you know, if you've run a marathon or even gone hiking, you know that there are times when it hurts, of course, when you're going doing a marathon. But anyone can run a downhill, but only a few people can run up. And the trophy is always at the top. But the pain you feel will disappear. What you remember usually is the result. You need to rise above that pain and build your own legacy. Because in life, everything in life is temporary. The pain is temporary, but quitting is forever. It never really gets out of your system. And never make anyone a priority when all they are to you is just an option. Remember that the storms will come your way, but that too will pass. Practice gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. I hear most people say, yes, I have an attitude of gratitude. But hey, if you're not practicing it, it's not valid. You need to write down things that you're grateful for in your own personal journal, so that when you come back a few days, you can look at your journal and say, wow, I'm so grateful for what I have, and so on. Lastly, be curious. Ask questions. Be hungry for information. Dream big, dream hard, because it's free and nobody will ever take it away from you. Because what really matters is you. I want you to continue saying to yourself, if you haven't already, is say to yourself, I am enough. I am enough, because you are enough, and that really matters. Thank you so much.